Hi there all, hope you're all doing well. Apologies for not uploading for the past week or so. I've been ill, so I haven't really felt like recording any new videos, but I am feeling better now. And to mark that occasion, I am uploading a brand new updated burn build, which is an upgrade from my previous build. So you'll see that coming soon once we dive into the video. But before we do that, I would just like to say thank you to everyone who's watched my videos and liked and subscribed and all the comments. I really do appreciate it. And if you want to continue supporting the channel, please like and follow and give us a subscribe. And I will come back with more videos in the future. So, moving on. What have I actually done to make this build better? So, for a start, first thing I got was the hardy gloves. Now, I wanted to test the interaction with the gloves with a burn perk on my primary weapon to see that when I proc the burn explosion and I have the perk, which I will show you later which perk I've got equipped, if it will actually remove the stacks, because on the gloves it says it will remove the stacks once the burn is procced. But however, there's a perk where if you equip it, you only lose 50% of the stacks. Now, I can confirm, and you can obviously see in the video, that it does work as how I've said it in this video. So basically, if you run in hardy gloves and the perk I'm going to show you, you will not lose the burn stacks, so you can keep your uptime on the stacks, and also you can get the explosion damage, which will spread to other enemies. So like you will see shortly, where it will spread to the enemies like so, and continue to burn them, and then also will set off a chain reaction where it explodes and damages them. So this is a very fun build to use for killing mobs, and is also effective against killing bosses as well. And as you can see, I've just exploded 3 of them there. And this build really does make light work of mobs, as you can see. Hardly need to waste any bullets. The only thing I need to do is apply the max stacks of burn, because with the hardy gloves, once you apply the max stacks, it will then trigger an explosion without having to kill the mob. And as well as that, when the mob does die, it will explode naturally anyway, so then you've got more of a chance of spreading the burn to additional mobs. Now, what I will have to say is the Starcrom investment in this build is extremely high, because obviously I've got the hardy gloves, the boom boom, and then I have 4 pieces of the shelter set. And I'm obviously using tungsten ammo as well. So it is quite an expensive build. I will say now that it is not as good as shrapnel, in the sense where you can be killing things rather fast, or single targets extremely fast. But this is still a fun build, and it is the build I am liking so much so that I will continue using this in the future and for the season reset. So I would say it is worth the Starcrom investment if you want to try something else and want to lean away from shrapnel. And like I say, it's an incredibly fun build to use. I haven't had this much fun using builds in this game in a while. When I started using this, I just love it. And don't be fooled by the weapon skin, because unfortunately, even though it does look like an ice weapon, it is not. It is a burn weapon, so just keep that in mind, okay? Just waiting for a better fire skin to come out at some point, as I'm not really a fan of the base weapon skin on the boom boom, but we should have to wait and see. And if you're wondering why I keep on typing in the video into my world chat, is because I forgot to delete my structures in the last Prime Wars that I had done. So don't be like me and don't delete your structures after. Make sure that you delete the structures so it gives other players a chance of getting points. Right, so we're just coming up to the boss room now. and you'll be able to see that we make light work with this boss. So long as we hit the weak spots, of course. If you've noticed that I haven't really used my Deviant this much. So if you do use your Pyro Dino, it will increase your burn damage by quite a lot. And you'll see it in a second where I'm just aiming for the spores, not even shooting the boss. And then the boss will die to the triggers of the explosions in a second. With the help of the Dino, of course. So as you can see, made that pro dungeon very easy to do. Now, just to clarify, you won't always be the top fragger of damage when shrapnel builds are about, but you will near enough be second or third when you use this build, as it does output an insane amount of DPS, especially when you kill mobs as well. So moving on to the gear and perks, you will be seeing that we do have 4 pieces of the shelter set to boost our status damage, and you can also get a drink which can further increase your status damage as well. So we want to try and get as much status damage as we can. And also, I'm going to try and roll burn damage and burn chance in our perks. Now, this will be our weapon perk, Embers. So when burn is removed, you only lose 50% stacks, where normally you would lose all of your stacks, so you would have to charge them up again to get the stacks to proc the explosion damage. Now, you could choose not to use this talent, or perk, may I say, if you have a high enough burn chance on your LMG. You can use something else, but for now, I'll be using that. We also got Deviation Experts, same as the previous build. Blaze Amplifier, increasing our intensity. Flame Resonance as well. Unstoppable, because we are going to try and get the weak spot damage when we can. More status damage, so status enhancement. And finally, Covered Advance, which gives us a damage increase when we take no damage. So the Hardy Gloves is what makes this build work. At full stacks, the burn will cause an explosion that deals damage of 300% psi intensity and remove all stacks. And with our armor set we are using as well, we get an increase on the damage for our status damage, which boosts it by quite a bit. Obviously, I'm showing you my Cradle and what I'm using at the moment. So I'm using Deadly Combo, but you don't really actually need to use it because you gain no benefit from running that in this build. So you can switch it to something else of your choice if you'd like. So moving on from this, I will show you a little test on the dummies using my calibrations. So I've tried to use 2 different calibrations. So rapid shot style, which increases my fire rate, and precision style, where it increases my damage, but then I get less mag capacity. So I've crafted 2 calibration tier 10s for my weapons to test it out. And obviously you do get more damage on the bullets using the precision style, but you don't stack burn as fast, and as well you'll be finding yourself reloading just a tad bit more. So if you want to output more DPS, I would suggest using the rapid shot style over the precision style. But if you want to kill mobs faster, then there's an argument to have to say use precision style for the extra damage. But I think it's more beneficial that you choose the rapid shot style so you have a faster fire rate, so you have a faster time of inflicting more burn stacks so that you can increase the chance of the explosions from occurring. So you can see we've got a dummy next to the dummy we're firing at, and it's taking damage from the explosion. So that's sort of the range where the explosion will damage enemy targets. If there's anything further, you won't really get the chance to hit the target or hit the explosion, sorry. So assault style is the one we were using. So I would definitely recommend going for the fire rate style over the assault style, where even though you do get more damage on the bullets, you'll find yourself you'll be reloading more often and you won't be applying burn as much. So now we're going to move on to what the actual weaknesses of the build are. Biggest weakness I've found with this build is against Forsaken Giant and Ravenous Hunter. So for the Forsaken Giant, you don't actually deal status damage to that enemy, or the boss, may I say, and that goes for using Frost Vortex builds as well. For some reason, the burn stacks and the frost stacks don't actually damage it because it's immune to that sort of those status elements. So automatically, if you're trying to solo the boss for the season goal, it's going to be incredibly difficult with this build, considering the how much damage you do with the bullets on here. For this build, you don't really do a lot of damage with bullets. You do more damage on the status effect. So it won't work great for that. And as well as that, when you're against the Ravenous Hunter, or Machine Gun Kelly I like to call him, you won't actually inflict any status damage to the minigun itself when you've got to fire at it to get him down, so you have the opportunity to deal damage to him. It doesn't work in that sense. So those are the only real issues I've found personally with the build. And maybe going through so much ammo, but ammo is quite easy to craft in this game, so it's not a game breaker for me. And I did notice that they seemingly changed the durability of this weapon at one point or another. Now, it may just be a figment of my imagination, but I'm pretty sure they did at one point, because prior to making this build and obviously making the video and testing it out, it seemed like my durability was worse up until I'd say about 2 or 3 weeks ago, where it seems like my durability is a lot better than what it was when I first started using the Boom Boom. Now, like I said, it could just be my imagination, but it's definitely not as bad as using the Frost Vortex SMG. You won't find yourself having to repair it that frequently, but which is nice. I suppose that is a nice little benefit to have. Also, obviously, build is heavily reliant on applying burn. So what you want to make sure you do is you roll burn chance on your perks, because that's going to trigger the explosion more often if you're running the hardy gloves. So try and get as much burn chance as you can. I think I've only got one perk with burn chance. I'm not even sure if it's possible to get 5 perks of burn chance, but if you can, definitely do it, because you can remove the perk embers of what I have on my weapon and run it with something else if you've got a high enough burn chance. So that could be an improvement for the future. Other than that, there's not really that much to improve the build to my knowledge at the moment. I mean, I'm running the shelter set, so obviously I'm getting the status damage increase. I've got the pyro dino, and I've got the majority of the perks I want. I mean, it would be nice to roll a few more perks with burn chance and burn damage, but I'm happy with how it's performing at the moment. Like I said, I'm having quite a lot of fun with this, and I can't see myself putting this down really at the moment. I definitely won't be going back to shrapnel, as I just don't have fun with it really compared to this. Like, you can see that I'm melting bosses, triggering the burn explosions and spreading it to mobs. So overall, I quite like this build. I'm not gonna lie, I really do like it. So I would recommend, if you do want to have some fun, go for this build. Invest a Starcrom on it. Of course, it's going to be a lot, but I think quite a lot of you are going to enjoy it if you've obviously followed my first build and want to upgrade it from there and do more damage. So now that will bring the video to a close. Sorry if my voice has been a bit funny today. I'm obviously still recovering from my illness, so if I sound a bit all blocked up, that's probably the cold I've got now. But hopefully I will get better in the days to come, and I'll probably put some more build videos out there in the future. But yeah, this has been FruityFool. Hope you've enjoyed the video, and yeah, if you like the video, please like and subscribe, and see you next time. Have a great week, and I'll catch you soon.